All right, we are recording. We have a special treat for you, our donors. If you've been following along, we've been having some really great conversations with parents and students of NTC and parents of the students of NTC. And today we're joined by Monica. Monica, her son, Keagan, is a brand new student with Nebraska Transition College. And if I'm right, Monica's taking his first class this quarter, right?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
right.
So this is going to be a great perspective for our donors to hear from a mom whose son and she just started this process, and now Keagan is starting his first course, and so we're going to focus specifically on that and kind of what led you to that. So, if you wouldn't mind, Monica, could you just tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about Keagan?
Sure. Um, I work at a pharmacy and my husband works a lot of hours. We have three kids and Keegan's the oldest and he's 25. And um, basically he just, like you said, just started this program and just trying to get things figured out. And he found a couple classes that he's interested in. And so far he's had a good response to all that.
Good. Tell us a little bit about Keagan. What would you like the world to know about Keagan?
Well, he was diagnosed in first grade on the autism spectrum. And um, of course, lots of hurdles through school over the years, counselors, therapy, psychologists, all that. And, um, but he made it through school. He tried college for a little bit. He went to community college and took a couple classes. And school was never his favorite thing, but that's okay. It's not for everyone. But he's always managed to work part-time job, and I believe his goals are to work full-time and to get his driver's license, and I think he's on the right track.
What led you to NTC? How did you find out about us?
Well, Jesse Sandberg actually was his IEP manager in high school. So,
So for our donors who didn't know this, Jesse Sandberg is our residential program director and also lead instructor, and she's been with us since day one. In fact, I don't know if you knew this, Monica, but Jesse was with me the first time we had a kitchen counter conversation about NTC. Before NTC was anything, Jesse
oh yeah.
was there from the beginning. So we've got that really special person in common. So keep going. So that's how you found out initially, right, Jesse?
And I had somewhat heard about that when I saw some other teachers um, that she had changed jobs and what have you. And then I saw a little excerpt on the news a while back. You had a little story on there, and it's like, I need to pursue this. And that's what led me to look into it further. And I found your website, and then I spoke to you first. And then when I spoke to you, I said it would be really great if Jesse could visit with Keagan and explain this program to see if he'd be interested.
Yeah.
And we did meet with her, and then it kind of went from there.
What are some what are some challenges that Keagan kind of runs into on a daily basis with regard to just navigating life?
Um, right now, it's finding a job that has benefits or closer to the full-time status, which has been a huge challenge. And basically, I think if you have a parent um, difficulties in life, there's all sorts of resources for you, and people reach out. And but if you're not sure there's anything different about this person, they seem just like everybody else, then there's not a lot of patience with jobs and that type of thing to understand what people go through.
Mm.
And then if it's hard for them to advocate what their challenges are, then it kind of puts them in a bad situation. And I think learning some of that ways to navigate through life and everything that goes along with it is going to be huge for him. And I also think that it's very difficult to teach all that at home
Mm.
because you live your day-to-day life, you do everything you need to do to get through everything, but if you tell your child, come watch me do this so you can learn what this is all about, yeah, I will later.
Mhm.
It's just
Yeah.
it's not
Sometimes they
a
don't listen to mom, but they might listen to a teacher, right?
yes,
Right.
exactly.
Now, I want to go back to something you were kind of alluding to earlier in that have you ever heard uh, people say, well, Keegan doesn't look autistic, right? He doesn't seem
Right.
autistic. So that's I can kind of think what you were talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, when it comes to we use the term high functioning. I don't like the descriptor, but it kind of helps us get to that description quickly. But oftentimes it's individuals, young adults like Keegan, who kind of fall through the gap, right?
Right.
Because um, you run into that hurdle of people saying, "Well, he doesn't look autistic." How do you respond to that?
It's and to be able to tell people it's just a little bit extra instruction or help him master what he's doing, he'll do great. He's a hard worker and he's very, good with people, very friendly, very polite, but just to bridge that gap has been a complete challenge,
Yeah. As a
definitely.
parent, when you think about Keegan's future, are there some worries that you have about what that looks like? Maybe, what can you talk about that? Can you kind of bring us into your world when it comes to, how does that affect you?
Yeah, with a 25-year-old, I'm trying to step back and let him navigate, figure things out, and but that's really hard to do because it doesn't happen. And for him to be able to learn how to be able to get from through those challenges on his own without me butting in, so to speak, is our biggest challenge right now.
Yeah,
Um, he doesn't want me to assist him so much anymore, and but for him to be able to do it and become successful is very difficult.
yeah,
And it's hard for both of us to understand how to, it's hard for me to step back and let him figure it out because I don't want him to fail. And it's hard for him to say, Mom, leave me alone. I'm 25. I can do this.
yeah.
So
We
it's,
want him to make a mistake. We just don't want him to be catastrophic mistakes, right?
yes,
So it's
exactly.
it's trying to figure out, well, when do we step in and when do we, let him fail?
Hmm.
But I mean, I am a father of six kids in our family, a blended family, but two of my own sons biologically, and neither one of them has autism. And so they're, neurotypical. And I worry about their future, right? And they're neurotypical. I imagine that's a different kind of worry for you, right? For the
Yes,
person who might have autism or other disability, it would be even more difficult to step back, right?
it is. And trying not to remind him of appointments and schedules and trying not to take care of everything or step in and do it myself is it's like, well, if I don't do it, then it's not going to happen. But at the
Mhm.
same time, if I let him do it, it may not happen either.
Right,
So
right,
it's
right. So, one of the things we try to do at NTC is to keep our tuition affordable. And you were kind of navigating through that for the first time. Our tuition is $289 per course, but it would actually be $1,696 per course if it wasn't for our donors helping us keep that tuition affordable. Can you talk about what that means to you? As far as, that help that the donors provide.
yeah, that is huge. Especially when I feel like we've finally found a good fit for him and to be able to do this. But um, at this point in time, I know he's trying to be independent and he's trying to save money for, maybe a car in the future, maybe living independently and all that good stuff. And we have two other kids in college right now, and another big expense is difficult for everybody, but having the opportunity for him to find something that might actually work, because we've had a lot of ups and downs over the
Mhm.
last few years of trying to find, that good fit, means a lot for him to be able to become independent and learn these skills that will bridge the gap for him.
Yeah. Monica, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for taking time. I'm glad we finally connected. I know it's a challenge sometimes in our busy lives, especially leading up to Thanksgiving. So thank you so much for taking the time to
Sure.
be with us today. Any final words you want to say?
Um, I'm glad I found this program, and I think it's going to be awesome for Keagan, and I think it is the key for his future success. And I know this sounds bad, but I almost felt like it was our last ditch effort, so to speak, to find something that would work for him, because obviously he wants to be independent, he wants to drive, he wants to live on his own, and I think this is the the last opportunity we found that is going to make all that happen for him. So thank you.
Yeah, awesome. And thank you, donors, right? This
Yes,
um, I'm
definitely.
I'm I'm just the guy who brings all the smart people in the room, and I'm the guy who tries to keep the lights on. So it's the
Sure.
donors who do all the work for us and our amazing instructors. But thank you once again, Monica. I appreciate you spending time with us today. You have a happy holidays.
You too. Thank you.